got that cherry bomb.
Welcome to Breaking Beauty Podcast, Hung. We are so excited to be reunited with you since we're all from Toronto. Kind of came up from the same place. I remember I was working at Flair and you were doing shoots with my boss at the time, Juliette, and our fashion shoots. Like you were just always doing the covers. So tell us if you have any like standout memories of your time doing editorial in Toronto, before you had 4 million followers and Selena's cell number, you know?
I mean, like I said, my career go like a long journey. It's never come like really fast. I go step by step. I always have a goal, but it was never like I have to get there. I say I'm gonna work to get there, and it always that the way it is, and I never over expecting too much.
Did you have to do hair as well when you worked in
Yes,
Toronto?
I
Yes.
in Canada you have to do both hair and
Yes.
makeup. So I was basically when I moved to New York, I completely pretend I don't know hair because I want people to know want to take me serious and makeup artist. So
Yes.
I acting dumb. I don't know anything about hair. So um, now they all know because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm so always a little bit more like vocal a little bit about the look and everything
Mhm.
and the term I use to describe like what we should do with hair and makeup. My opinion is always come like the right terms of a hairdresser. So you can't really hide it for so long.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're like, "Wait a minute, how did you know that?" Well, let's go back a little bit further though. You emigrated from Vietnam as a child to Calgary, and
I'm with Vietnam, and we escaped Vietnam. We got to Thailand first,
okay,
and then we lived there for 3 years in the
I
refugee camp.
see.
And then we was waiting for different countries to accept us, and then Canada is the one that allow us to come to the country to resettle there. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my
What
gosh.
a what did you do you remember being in Calgary for the first time, or were you too little?
No, we got there in. I remember exactly in December. Well, we got sponsored from a family
I
there.
see.
We got there in December of 1990, and like in Calgary, I remember the time it was really really cold.
Yeah.
And I'm a more a realist, and my brother more like my brother also came a little bit more romantic person even when we was very young, and he was dreaming like like play in the snow and all these kind of things
Right.
like. But when we got there, like we just you know
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
yeah,
it was a shock to the
it's a shock
system,
to
I'm
the
sure.
system. Yeah,
Mm.
And so 3 years in a refugee camp,
yeah.
what did that look like?
It is not an easy 3 year for sure. We all sleep on the cement floor. We all share in a big house like this. There's no privacy, nothing at all. Every day we line up for food. But I think the great thing that come out from that, all the hardship in the refugee camp, is that I find that we do appreciate everything come after that. I
Mhm.
think the personality that my brother and I and my sister, we all shape that everything we come after that, it is become what we always had, treat that with appreciation. We always
Mhm.
say that, this is the best given thing that we get. So we always appreciate more,
Mhm.
from working, from anything. So we always thankful, appreciate it. So it gives you a better perspective in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does your brother do? I have to ask because you said
My
he's so romantic, so
My brother, actually, he's a professor university.
Oh,
He's
really?
in Calgary for many years.
Okay.
If you talk, like we came to Calgary very young, but if you talk to my brother, without looking his face, you think like he's a native Canadian. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But for me, for some reason, I'm an art person, so you see that language is never a thing for me. So as much
Mm.
as I live in Canada for all my life, I still speak with a heavy accent and
Right,
yeah. So it's like for me, because I'm more a visual person than
right.
anything else. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
And
y
he's an academic now. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
professor university.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
he's a very like he's a book smart.
yeah. And so I've read that, and I know your line, which we're gonna get into today, which is exciting, but you do a lot of storytelling through the line with the names of the products. One of the things I read is that you described makeup as your sanctuary. So when was the moment that that started to unfold for you?
Yeah. So the thing is that in Calgary, I think a lot of people are gonna feel very related to me in that you don't at the time. This is like over 20 years ago. At the time, you don't even if like I was in high school and I was fascinated about fashion magazine. I love art, and yeah, I look at supermodel magazine, but you never thought like I'm gonna be a makeup artist because you don't really know many people working as a makeup artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a working as a fashion makeup artist. I was basically want to work in that field, but I wasn't know if like it's makeup is a thing. So I was like, I just know that there are people working in hair salon, and I was always gifted with those things as well. So I think I should become a hairdresser. After high school, I went to hairdressing school, and after hairdressing school, I work in the hair salon. In hairdressing school, we don't really learn makeup. I think they have a little makeup class for a few hours,
Mhm.
something like that, but not much at all. And in the salon, the first salon I worked, they have a makeup station. And at the time, I remember they have like Truco and Navita
I was
products
just
and stuff
gonna
like that.
I
You know,
couldn't help but
like
Yeah,
think
great
about
time.
Merle
I was
At the
like,
Norman.
time,
yeah.
the time like
I was
those
like, does Aveda still have makeup? So, like,
Aveda, it
from
was
the past.
Truco is also another one from
Yeah.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
So they sell the product and they have a makeup station there. And I was an assistant at the time, so I have a lot of free time too. So basically, like I was like keep playing. I was like, oh my god, this is really what I want to do, and I start playing with more makeup. But the blessing thing is that I was very gifted with hair. If you ask anyone in Calgary, they know me as a hairdresser,
Mhm.
and in a very short time, I did really well, you know,
Mhm.
and I won a lot of those hair contests in Canada and
Mhm.
all this, and so I constantly doing hair. But then I always want to play with makeup, and then I do a little more research, and I know there's modeling agency there, and then there people can actually do makeup because at the time I only do like start doing makeup for wedding and
Mhm.
graduation. I was like, no, I want to go to other direction a little more, and then I reach out to a local agency called Mode Models. They're
Yeah.
still around, and it was Kelly Strait, and I was very shy at the time, like like broken English, very shy, and I reached out and I left a few messages and finally he called me back and he make an appointment to see me for a haircut
Mm.
and he talked about like supermodel and all this kind of thing and I was like all about that and he was like, oh my god, this guy really like into that. So he basically kind of took me in and he was like, book me little photo shoot here and there, and slowly that's how it started.
Mhm.
And more I love uh you know, have a chance to do more makeup. I do local little advertising and shoot and show and
Mhm.
those things. That's how I start doing more makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Kelly Street was responsible for scouting and
Hmm.
sourcing some of the biggest
Yes.
supermodels.
A lot of people don't realize, like, Canada has been such a hotbed for so many incredible models that and we just remember at Flair, it was all about
The
getting the model
girl.
Yeah.
before she went to New York because we knew that was gonna happen. They
Yes.
were gonna poach her, and then we'd never see her again, just like what happened with you when you
Mm.
when you left, but,
Heather Marks was one of the big people that he
We still
discovered.
friend. I just have dinner
Oh,
with her last week.
really?
Yeah, she
Oh my
come. Yeah, so
gosh.
yeah,
Calgary
that's
girl.
we start around the same time in the
Yes.
way in the
yes.
business
I
because that's
love
when
her.
she started when she was actually 12 years old and I was
Mhm.
basically um new, and then we worked together and become very close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
12. Yep. That was the industry.
Yeah, it was
Definitely.
young that time, yeah.
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
and then yeah. And then Kelly basically and I went to New York for the first time,
Mhm.
and then I was just fell in love. This is where I wanna be. But if anyone from Canada, they know that you can't just move to the state
Yeah.
Right.
without, you have to have the legal working permit, all those
Mhm.
things. So we do a little different route.
Mhm.
We say maybe you move out of Calgary to a bigger city.
Mhm.
But then right before I moved out Calgary, I got an offer from a big salon in Montreal called La Coupe,
Mhm.
and they asked me to offer me to be creative director from the salon. I was very young, but they heard of me and they was like to train and do work in the salon there. And I took an offer. I was like, maybe this a ticket for me to go there
Mhm.
and to work freelance as well. But for a few months, I couldn't get any work in Montreal for freelance work because the market's very tight and they're very like people type they work with the same team all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, so that's why I make a move to Toronto.
Tell us about the move to New York when that happened. It was kind of Devil Wears Prada days, really.
Finally, after 3 years in Toronto, I got my working visa. I literally moved right away, like a month after. I keep making moves like this, and I know a lot of people would want to do what I want to do. It doesn't mean they don't want to, but I don't think they can't. It's
Mhm,
just because a lot of time they have family, they have
mhm.
children, they have stuff like that. I want to share this because I know a lot of people in the same boat with me, and they want to do what I want to do. They want to move to New York. They want to do all these things. It's just because I was single and I
Yeah.
was so ambitious, and I have no baggage, and I was like, I can do it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So that's the easy part. But if like
Yeah.
if it's someone who want to do the same and they don't have they have family stuff, it's gonna be harder for them for
Mhm.
sure. So that's why
Definitely.
I moved right away after a
Mhm.
month, because I was like, I have nothing to lose. I have a very hard time. The part I mentioned Montreal earlier because it relates to what I'm gonna tell you next.
Mhm.
So basically, when I was in Montreal salon, the salon also assigned me for a young assistant, and his name is Christopher Michael. So he was assisting me, but I don't think he's a have art for hair.
Mm.
And he's really good at talking, and he can talk your ear off, and he can sell anything. And he was assisting me doing hair, and I was talking to him. I was like, I don't think you should do hair because it's not you're not gifted for this. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But like I think like hair makeup is art, and I
Yes.
Yes.
think it doesn't matter how much you practice. There's to have a little jazzy, a little bit art on yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So I see him. I was like, I see the way he does it. You're not gonna,
Right.
So he actually, when I moved to Toronto, he actually moved to Toronto as well, right after me. And then at the time, he was looking for a job, and then I asked him. I said, you should be an agent.
Mm.
So and then at the time, he went intern at the agency I with Giovanni.
Mhm.
So and then after that, a friend of mine in New York who have a modeling agency, and he did really well interning the agency. He was amazing. And I was talking to her, and she have a modeling agency, and she talking to her, and she was like, "I'm looking for someone young and eager and stuff like that." So I said, "Why don't you sponsor him over?" So
Mhm.
she did.
Mhm.
Christopher become and I become like really close. We like family, but like
Yeah.
brothers. An agency here called Kramer and Kramer. I like to name some of these people just because I always appreciate them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the agent does work with a lot of Canadian clients.
Mm.
So he was like, oh, so he worked with Holt Renfrew. He worked with these
Mhm.
people. So those are very good client in Canada. So he took me in
Mm.
a smaller agency, and so all the booking go through them. So they still make money from me, and then they book me smaller and smaller. But then an agency, I I want to go a little further because the agency is small and it's limited thing that I can do. And it's for a person for me who I always want to branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
So it could be tricky for me. And as much as I appreciate them, I'm still looking for a different
You
representation.
always gotta be leveling up. That's what
So
you're doing in this
like it's
whole
not that I'm not
industry.
grateful. It's just
No,
because
it's
Yeah.
that
just
you know
the
what I mean?
ready for the
Yeah.
next step
Yeah.
each
So
Yeah.
time,
I worked with
right?
them for a year. So I was ready
Yeah.
for the next step. And then
And I'm just going to interrupt you for 1 second because what Hung is not saying, but from an outsider who would see his work, is that you're incredibly talented and
thank
you
you.
were back then.
Thank you.
And so that's the desire, I think, is part of it is like you're really good and it's just like you're not able to fully execute.
Yeah.
So what people are really hearing is what we're so used to in Canada is they're big fish, small pond. Here, small fish,
Yeah.
big pond.
Yeah.
Right? And it takes so long to build it up.
So I
Mhm.
keep seeing the agency that I'm with right now. Like I keep reaching out to them, and I met them actually 4 times, and finally they signed me.
Mhm.
Basically, the agency is so big that they have a lot of makeup artists. So I was basically every morning I wake up. Doesn't matter I have a job or not. I wake up and I know there's always a phone. There's somewhere a phone
Yeah.
call somewhere
Yep. The
that I
brushes
need.
are clean, everyone.
Yeah,
He is
I need.
ready. He's got the
Ready to
subway ready
go.
to
Yeah,
go. The
and at the time I
kit.
live in Chelsea, so it's
Yeah.
very central.
Yeah.
So basically, like,
Make it happen.
the
Yeah.
agency would call, like, run over here, back
Yeah.
up, or anything like that. And I actually slowed. That's how I started.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Yeah.
did you say the wall group? I'm so sorry I
the
missed.
wall group,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
still
Yeah,
with
the
wall
wall
group.
she
group.
was
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
yeah,
Incredible.
And it reminds me of Harry Josh's story, who's
yeah.
been on our show too, and I
And
remember
and you
him.
guys work together a
I'm
lot.
gonna tell next stories coming up
Okay,
next week.
okay, more stories coming. But yeah, I remember him telling the story of cutting hair in his apartment
Mhm.
and sweeping and just trying to make it, and then along comes, Giselle, he's cutting her hair.
Adding to what you said, I was actually with Harry Josh this morning. We worked this morning for with Roseburn, like one of my
She
longer
is so
clients.
funny and
So it
gorgeous.
was yeah, it was like a family reunion because I
Yeah.
don't get to see them very often. So one of my considered like big break in New York is that is basically was Helena Christensen. At the
Oh.
time, she looking for a makeup artist to work with a new makeup artist. And Christopher, the one I mentioned
Mhm.
earlier, he was a junior agent at her agency at the time, and he keeps suggesting me to her. And then finally, she said yes. So they booked me on a shoot for Numero Tokyo,
Mm.
and Helena was a talent that she requested me for that, and Harry Josh was the hairdresser. So I call them almost like my guardian angels because after that shoot, um, Helena requested me a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and then Harry Josh is basically like wonderful. He's tell me about me to everyone. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think like I don't know why I'm crying, but
It's a
it
beautiful
just
thing.
like you brought up the name, it's all like
Yeah.
somewhat related together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, like after that, that's when like from like I start working different people. That Harry Josh because he always established here, and so did Helena, and that's all the support that I get from that. How I started, yeah.
Yeah, that's
In
amazing. Well, I love
incredible.
that story. I think it's so great that you were able to come to a place where you're at in your career now where it's the strides that you've made, as you said, like coming from a refugee camp and through all of these channels and just keep going and going, even though you're hitting all these walls. I think so many people can relate to that. And now,
And but believing in yourself, right?
yeah,
And your own
exactly,
talent.
because it probably could have been
Yeah.
so easy to just quit too, right? And
Yeah.
say, I'm
Yeah.
gonna wrap it up.
There's a lot of artists or people that feel somewhat related to my story.
Mhm.
I want to say like they also like one thing when you move to a new country on if you want to be driven, you always have to prepare for sacrifice.
Mm,
Big
That's
time.
something that you have something that people have to remember is that if you plan to go out every night in New York, you can go party, you can go all these things, you can. A lot of people always give me advice before that you should go out more because you're gonna meet people this and this. I don't believe that. I don't believe that the part you're still gonna have a normal life,
Yeah.
but you have to have sacrificed that part. You know what I mean?
mhm,
For me, like I always want to have career. I want to
Mhm.
have a good balance, so I'm always sacrifice that people can go out, but if I work the next day, I will not go out.
yeah.
I'm always have to try to be a bit more mindful about more, be responsible, and have to understand why I'm here for what the reason I moved to New York for.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Absolutely. When you get really close to your clients and we've interviewed a lot of people. We've had over 400 episodes now and you hear it. You hear it in people like Mario
Mhm.
and people like Chris McMillan
Yeah,
who have been on our show
love
and
them. Yeah.
and when we talked to Chris we asked like what's the biggest regret in your career and he's like honestly not having kids and he was like getting
Very
kind of
real about
emotional
that.
about it and very real about it and I
Mhm.
think it's like it's very easy in this industry to just not take for granted, but it's like, have you on speed dial. That was like an expression we would use all the time, but it's that idea that you're always going to be there. Like
Mhm.
somebody says you need to be here, you're there all the time, 24/7, years on years. And so I think to your point, it's like there are sacrifices too, right?
Yeah.
Like certain things
Living.
that you just can't do.
Can I ask you what was your big break working with Selena? Because so many people know all of your iconic looks
So
working with
so
her.
basically, Harry Josh also introduced me to Miranda Kerr,
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
who's we worked together. We all worked together for a long time, and Miranda, her managers always come on set. When for big shoots stuff like that. So they always see me how I work, they met me many times and they know the way I work. And then Selena is switching management, so she came to the same management with Miranda Kerr.
Mm.
Okay.
So when they were looking for a new team for Selena, and that's when they introduced. He was like, "I know someone for you," so
Right.
that's why he introduced me to
Mhm.
Selena.
Wow.
That was over 12 years ago now.
Was Selena like a Disney star when you guys started,
She
or
was
where
a
was she
no,
at?
she not anymore. She started doing music already. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 When was the moment it got sort of solidified where it was like you were gonna be the one that she would
I would
call?
never say. I mean, Selena worked with other people as well. You
Yeah,
know, I work a lot with Selena, but I
yeah.
cannot say I'm the only one that work with
Right,
Selena because
right,
I would never discredit other or makeup artists.
Sure.
right.
But she worked other people as well. But I work with her quite a bit. Um, I think one thing that in this business that people should understand that it's not just your makeup anymore.
Mhm,
It is the whole package that you sell it.
mhm.
So basically, you could be a wonderful makeup artist, but you're not reliable. They
Mhm.
can't work with you.
Yep,
You're not
They can't
trustworthy.
or they if they don't like your personality,
Mhm.
they will not work with you.
that's right.
So it's not just the work alone. So especially when you work, you can get away that when you work on a fashion shoot because
Mhm.
they've done the shoot, they leave. You know what I mean? But when you work with celebrity, you you go on tour with them, not on the press tour with them. You go on trip with them for work, and you're so close to them. You get ready for them in their hotel, so it's a very intimate environment. So they have to trust you.
Yep.
They have to feel your energy that compatible with them.
We need to talk about your line, your own self-titled makeup line. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you,
So proud of you where you've
thank you.
come to, and this is a full collection.
That's pretty much yeah,
How many pieces altogether?
about 60 pieces.
Yeah, wow. I one thing when I was looking through the press kit right off the hop, I noticed the 8 eyeshadow palettes. And this is one thing that I always think of you in eyes.
Thank you,
I always like you just do the most beautiful,
thank you.
always thought of
Snatched.
you that way. The color, they're snatched,
I
but
need the lifting,
the
Hung. Help
color,
me
the
out.
dimension, the shape, everything. So we
Yes.
need to get some of these tips for our listeners
Yeah.
straight from you. I'm actually wearing your palette today. It's the orange one. And I wondered if you could walk us through the 4 textures. Tell us, for someone who's not a professional, how do they know which texture to use when? Like, walk us through it.
So we have 4 different texture. So the first texture is classic, satin finish, but
Mhm,
this one a bit more, mm, is really beautiful, soft touch. It's very gorgeous, and that's easy to use. And then the second texture is the matte. So
mhm,
this one very velvety, doesn't have a lot of fallout. And the third texture we have is metallic. If you want a lot of shimmer, you want a little sparkles, is a great texture for you. And also they're very somewhat creamy that it doesn't have fallout much at all.
Mhm.
And but in as much I call this collection is basically like perfecting the basic. That's why I say. And but the four texture is still, even if we say it's basic, it's still considered like a newer texture. It's more like an innovation texture. It's called 3D matte.
mhm,
So it's not a cream. It's not a matte. You feel them. It's a little soft. It's like a
mhm.
soft touch, and it's more like a. And then you apply. It finished like a matte texture. You can use the finger, use the brush, but it's so easy to blend. Like for someone, this one I do is for someone who the way I lay out, and the texture is for someone who don't know anything makeup and don't have to worry about fallout. And even on the other palette, I was trying to do like, for example, like black
Mhm.
eyeshadow is the one of the hardest eyeshadow that you apply for makeup because you're gonna have fallout, you're gonna mess everywhere.
Yeah.
So I purposely did those shade in the 3D texture because it just stick to the eye. It doesn't just fall out.
Oh, nice.
So texture like that was great
A bit more
for
creamy than
yeah. It feels
powdery?
like a cream, but it's not a cream because
Mhm.
it's not wet like that.
Yeah,
But it just feel like a little moist, like in that,
yeah.
but it's applied like a powder. It's but it doesn't have fallout.
Yeah.
So that's that in the texture and the way we laid out. Even if you say orange coral, but it's still very approachable. It's still
Yeah. I'm wearing it right now.
it's not intimidated that you don't want to wear them. You
Yeah.
know,
The staying power is really great on
yeah,
these.
it does. It have a lot.
That's great.
Yeah, we do quite long lasting everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Because the
very
thing is that
pigmented,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
very pigment because the thing when I design all these products, even if you can see the neutral, this is the most popular one. People like this one is
This is
for
gonna be gangbusters,
yeah.
I think. Yes.
Yeah, everyone love this palette. But the thing is that for me is that even if I design these palettes as a makeup artist, but I'm always have to think a consumer as well.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
I came from a hair salon background, so I understand like I want people to able to use at home and not complicated. Even I lay out the eyeshadow, they somewhat like a map for you already,
Mhm.
so it doesn't intimidate you that you look at the shadow palette and you say, "Oh, I don't want to wear them." You
Yeah.
know, they still want to try the product. You know,
Yeah, I like that they're closely related. I also like that you have a warm neutral
yeah,
palette rather than just a neutral
neutral,
palette because I enjoy warm
yeah,
tones on my very pink skin.
yeah,
So I cannot wait to try that
yeah,
one tomorrow. So I want to ask about these two eyeliners, eyeliner for dummies kind of thing,
yeah.
because I think it is a little bit confusing with kohl and the longwear. Is the longwear a gel?
Long
Yeah.
wear gel. So the long wear the gel liner. So basically,
Like
they
what do
give
you use when? Tell me
okay.
that.
So basically, the core pencil
Yep.
you have unlimited playtime.
Okay.
So this is like for people who love to blend, love to smudge. Core pencil is for you.
Okay.
It doesn't have the same power.
Mhm.
It still lasts you all day,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have you like,
Yeah.
staying power like that. So a lot of people love that if you want to look the air more, the eye more sultry, smudgy, long the cold pencil, you can use that to create the look. For gel liner, is you still can blend but because it's a long wear liner, so you have about 15 to 20 seconds before it's gonna
Mhm.
it can set. You won't able to blend that fast, the long wear liner. So basically you do this side, you blend whatever you want, you have about 15 seconds before it set, it doesn't move.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who have hooded eyes
Yeah.
or people who doesn't want who wear glasses like you
Yeah.
or who have oily skin,
Mhm.
all those things they love long wear
Right. So
because
it's
it
more
doesn't.
defining.
It's yeah, more defining, but it's more long lasting, no
Yeah.
smudging, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can smudge, but then it
Yeah.
doesn't
So you've
match
got to go quickly. If you're going to
quickly.
smudge it,
Yeah.
you go
Yeah.
fast, but it is good for lining as
It's
well,
good
right? Whereas a
lining.
kohl is going to smudge regardless.
Yes. But our coal, even it's cold, it still have pretty good staying
Oh,
power.
interesting.
Yeah. I purposely did that. So quite pigmented, it's quite a good staying power.
Can
Uh
you line your waterline
yes,
with
you can.
the
Yeah.
gel one? Is
Yes.
that the one?
They
Okay.
all safe, they all for eye. You can do anything with the eye. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Marc Jacobs gel
Yeah.
pencil?
This if you love the Marc Jacobs pencil, you will love this one even more.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because Marc Jacob, I will used to be ambassador for Marc
I
Jacob, and
know.
it was basically it was their number one bestseller,
Mhm.
and it would discontinue the brand. And for me, I always love that. I hear all the time, like people was like crazy that losing it. But for me, because like I say earlier, my collection is basically perfect in the basics. So I think to myself, I say, those are such beautiful eyeliner. The only thing that I was correcting them was I wanted to be a bit more pigmented
Yeah.
Mm.
and I want the playtime a little longer
Mhm.
and the color and the pencil is run a little bit more smoother.
Mm.
So that's why we achieved with this liner. So it was inspired. I will be very transparent. I was very inspired by that. So I was like, if I do that, could be an elevate version of that.
Right.
Yeah,
So
plus that one is dead and buried now, so it's
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
A lot of people see 8 pans of eyeshadow and
mhm.
they think, "Oh my god, where do I apply what and when?" So, can you give us like a two-step, like your recipe for doing a good-looking eye, but that's not gonna take a lot of time?
What the thing is that like for me, the a lot of people think that they have to use too many eyeshadow palette or too
Yeah.
many color to achieve a smoky eye. For me, it's the easiest. You can use whether a gel or a cold pencil, smudge it all over here. Just
Yeah.
do the waterline, leave it on the bottom, just naturally smudge, and just use one color all around on the
Yeah.
crease here, and the second color a little lighter to blend the edge it out, and you get a beautiful smoky eye.
Right.
So you don't have to go so complicated that you have to do too many steps
Right.
because that's the most really gorgeous. You don't have to do too many color in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the way I lay out is that like the color is somewhat complement each other. So even if you pick whatever color, it still go with other color. I didn't choose a color that it was so off.
Right.
Right.
That's why I play everything in the color family palette, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Because if you go and if the consumer go buy palettes and then all of a sudden all the neutral and there's a red color and they was like, what I'm gonna do with that? They wouldn't know how to do with
Right.
that. So
Right.
that's why everything I would do very color coded. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because even like a makeup artist that messaged me, she said, Hung, this is exactly how I depart all the eyeshadow and
Right.
put in the palette.
That's
So
right.
you do the work for us already. So
Right.
it is in, you know what I mean? Like that's all.
Yeah.
If you get these 8 eyeshadow palette, that's all really you need on the makeup
Yeah.
kit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would you say that people are going wrong when they're trying to create like a Selena eye or using a palette like this? Where are they over blending or under blending? You must be kind of studying this now that you're a brand founder.
I guess a common mistake, in my opinion, is people use the product too rough.
Mm.
For example, doesn't matter my eyeshadow or any eyeshadow palette. If you hold the brush and you do like this,
Yeah.
you screw.
You're like swirling in the
You've already
pan.
got it wrong.
It is because you're gonna get so much product on the brush, you don't need that much, and then when you put on here, it's
The
too much,
mess.
and you
Yeah.
guys all spend all the time to blend it out, so that's worse. That's why I have a YouTube channel. I
Right.
do real time. I don't cut. I do step by step. I say every single video, you only just dab a little bit, and that's all the color you need. And you do this. And if you need more, you add more.
Right.
I see this all the time. Like this, and they do on the blush, on the bronzer. It's the worst because that thing
Yeah.
is that you just do dab, and you got the product, enough the product. You don't realize that all you need for the
Yeah.
color, but if you do so much in here and you put in here a bit too much and you try to wipe it off and it start falling off and it was just that's they got it wrong.
We want to ask you about some holiday makeup tips because people are maybe going to start going out and having fun this holiday season. So, what do you think is a really fresh idea for holiday makeup?
I would love people to play with colors a little bit because
Yeah.
in the past few years we really go with the neutral, and I love neutral. I think it's so sexy and so tree, but people don't realize that a little color is gives so much life on the face. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I'm sure people hear that all the time, but the older we are, the more color you lose on the face. People think like, okay, I'm older now, I can't use color. I have to use neutral. I think that's the I don't want to say it's a mistake, but that's the wrong thinking because the older you are, the more color you lose your face, the
Mhm.
more color you need to build back. I've learned a lot from my client as well.
Mhm.
Like for example, I give you example like Helena always teach me is that doesn't matter how dark her eye smoky eye is, the waterline should always warm brown because I make her eye color better. Don't use
Right.
black because close her eye, and she's right. So
Mhm.
that's why like the liner, I have a warm brown liner in my line as well.
Mhm.
And then, for example, like Julianne Moore, who is older, but she always you see her, she have quite a lot of pink blush, and she always
Mhm.
have a little color on the lips, and she looks so beautiful and youthful. I mean, those things I've learned from the client teach me as well. We say, give me some color back in there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it
Yeah.
makes sense. People always think because I'm older, I can go just like very muted here, and you lose a lot of color already
Yeah.
and you don't want to make it look more dowdy that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
You
lose
lose a
the
lot. Yeah,
Definition
definition.
yeah,
and the color.
definitions.
That's a good tip. What's your favorite product in your line that you're like, you can't stop using it?
It's hard for me. You can't pick a favorite child, so it's really hard to me. But I think I think our unsung heroes from our brand would be the bronzer and the coal liner.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the co-liner is makeup artist favorites. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And a lot of time, like, it's the easiest liner to use.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
only have 3 shades for now, but it's a beautiful formula. Like, I just love it. And also the bronzer. Our bronzer is really nice, and it's the go back and forth the laugh for the pressing and make sure everything like not too dusty and the shade that we chose. Even it's only 6 shade in the range, but it's just beautiful shades.
Now, I noticed recently you did a magazine cover with Benny and with
Mhm.
Selena. and we've seen her maybe out on her bachelorette trip and stuff. So, have you ever thought about what Selena's wedding makeup might be like? Have you
I don't
ever
know.
Good answer. Have you ever thought of it, though, in your own vision board?
I think Selena is gorgeous. Whether she wear a lot of makeup, lip makeup, she can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But for me, I would like people to do more in the softer side.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I sometimes um like us as a makeup artist, we always do what the client prefer as well. At the end of the day, the client always right. You have to do what they wish for, but so it's really hard to push back. But I think I want people to, when they have their makeup, I want them to look back in 20 years. They will say, my makeup's still current,
Mhm.
and or still beautiful. And sometimes the most effortless makeup is always beautiful for wedding.
Yes.
And another thing that people always forget, like when you go for makeup trial, you always wear an outfit of something.
Mhm.
So you cannot judge that because on your wedding day, you usually wear white.
Right.
So the makeup color is you need a lot more softer than you think it is.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like if you when you wear a black outfit, you go for fitted, you do makeup, so anything still look light to you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you wear a
White.
white dress and the makeup, so you have to
Smart.
think that people totally forgot that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Yeah.
gotta
So
wear
that
white
yeah.
to your trial. We've noticed that there's so many artist-led brands that are coming out this year. It's just really booming, which is great if you're an artist.
Mhm.
Is there like a brand or a product you wanna shout out from like one of your peers that you really love?
I think I love makeup artist brand. I love like Mario. He have great eyeshadows.
Mhm.
I think those matte palette was great.
Yep.
And they have great foundation too. Mary just came out. I mean, those underpainting, I think wonderful. I
Yeah.
think if you a makeup lover and you want to do all different thing, to contour sculpting, I think is a great way to play. And then the
Mhm.
the formulation is so easy to blend, so it's really nice.
That's
Um,
the Mary
yeah,
Phillips.
Mary Phillips.
Yep.
Gucci Westman have beautiful blush, beautiful contour. I mean, she have great product. Violet have beautiful colors. I mean,
Mhm.
she's great with color as well.
Mhm.
And if you want long wear, it's great as well. Um, Ismaia French. I mean, she have beautiful. I mean, if you want more that soft, more glossy skin,
Mhm.
editorial look, she's a
Mhm.
great person for that. Charlotte Tilbury, the legend. I mean, she have amazing products. Pat McGrath have amazing color. The quality of the product that we come out is we not just come out the product for any reason. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Very
uh,
intentional.
yeah, we intentional thing that we always dream that we want to do because we have a vision that we want to do. It's not just like we have the money and do it. We don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just we do it because we really have something to contribute to the beauty industry. That's what we
Right.
want to do.
I'm wearing rare eyeshadow today. I will be putting your gel longwear liner on as well.
And to
I'm
be honest,
obsessed.
like if you want the my favorite launch, blush come out in a long time, I'm not being biased at all, is the Rare Beauty blush.
Yeah, they're
The
really good.
the new one, they have amazing liquid blush, but the new blush in the one like this, it's more like the mushy
Oh,
one.
the,
It has like a bounce back
Bounce,
texture.
yeah,
Yes.
bouncy blush.
Yes.
They
yeah.
are it's my absolutely favorite blush in the market.
What
Really?
color? Which one specifically?
I think a lot of people like Hope because it's
Mhm.
called Hope because it's happy and hope. Those shades really suit everyone, but they have incredible shades as well. It's
Mhm.
very different than what you imagine rare
Right.
because they have a lot of amazing artistry color as well, and I really love it. And a lot of I think their unsung hero product to me also is their powder highlighter.
Oh,
See,
really?
you're surprised.
I am.
It's the one on the little
I
like
remember.
this. It
Yes.
is so good. I think it's their one of their best. Yeah, it is like a bake formula like this,
Yes.
and it was like, I mean, you just dab like this, and even
It
you
is
push your
really
hand,
good.
put moisturizer, and you put a body too if you want. You can put
Oh,
here. If you
hack.
want very natural, you can, and you can do it really popping, you can as well. And
Okay.
my favorite shade is I call mesmerize. That's Selena's shade, so I
Oh,
Yep.
always use on her.
who knows? Maybe it'll get used on a big day.
Yeah,
Who
we don't
knows?
know.
Literally, I'm not being biased at all because I know the art are gonna
You
kill me if
shouldn't,
I
right?
recommend something it's not worth it. But for me, like They have amazing product, but those 2 are my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. We will
And then
do
their
What
eyebrow gel is
yes,
it's like it's if you want a strong eyebrow gel,
it
Yeah.
is good too.
Their
it's a
products are really good. They
yeah.
And
really, really are.
what does she steal from you now? So this is what you would steal from her kit. What is her
I don't
favorite?
know, I have to bring my gift back to Selena. So
Ah,
she saw them already,
yeah.
but I haven't give her anything yet, so I
Okay. So
wanted
we
to,
don't know the
I
favorite
didn't
yet.
send to her, I wanna see her when I
Yeah.
Yeah.
see her.
Has she wore
Hand
it out
deliver it.
somewhere without her even knowing? Like, is it on a red carpet or something?
Why are you doing this to me? You can't do that.
We're friends now.
That's a yes.
That's the tea.
But we will never know. It's all to be revealed, I'm sure, at some
Another
time.
artist secret.
Yes.
Zip.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta zip
He
it.
knows what's up. Well, Hung, congratulations on everything. This was a
Thank you.
thrill to talk to you, and we're so happy for you.
Thank
Yes.
Love
you.
everything, and you can see all of the care and incredible artistry you've put into these products. So
Thank you so much,
we think
and
Thank
it
everyone's
was
you.
so
gonna
nice
love
to see
them.
you guys again, and thanks
Yes.
for having me.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
Thank you.
much.